Hi, everybody. How are you today? Um, Today we're going to talk about Jaguar Wright and her downfall. This is what's going on. Then we're going to talk about and she's a con artist. And then we're going to talk about Bishop Whitehead, who's also a con artist. So, and I'm doing this. So I did. Do you guys hear echo?
I
I
don't hear
did
one.
a thorough background check on Jag, and I was going to come on here and drag her ass because she made me so damn mad. But I have to remember, Jaguar Wright is a drug addict. She suffers from mental health. She's on lithium. Okay, thank you, Joey. She's on lithium. She's a very sick woman. So I don't want to drag. I want to tell you guys what happened. I want to warn the public because you know what? I learned a long time ago. You don't tell the public, oh, Jag's a liar, because they won't believe you. I can say all day, Tosh K be lying. No, no, no. I don't. You come to it on your own time for your own conclusion, because some people ride hard. But I'm getting ready to tell you because I can't take it no more, and I'm worried for her. Jag is going to end up either dead or in some kind of mental hospital. And not only that, she's in mourning. So she's dealing with mental health. She's got drug problems. She's still mourning the loss of her son. This is a woman, she needs help.
Right.
And nothing I could help her with or y'all could help her with. There's a lot of things going on at the same time. Okay, let's start with the drugs. Okay. When I first start, I did not know Jag. I met Jag through Nosy. That was Nosy's friend. But we used to go on her panel and we would have a good time. And during this time, we're all three talking on the phone. We made a pledge to each other. We're gonna always have each other's back. We're not gonna um, dog each other out. And we have great conversations. And then all of a sudden, Jack started acting really weird. I went back. I went back because I wanted to have some kind of evidence. I can't just call the girl an addict and not have any proof. Hold on one second. So one day we're on Nosy's panel. I'm in the blue, Nosy's in the white. It's Friday, December 23rd, 7:28 p.m., 2 days before Christmas. I'm on the panel and Jag starts talking belligerent. People don't understand her. She's making crazy comments. She says that she wished Tory Lanez would have shot Megan in the other foot. And everybody's sitting there going, "What the
Yeah.
fuck?" So
Mm-hmm.
I text Nosy. This is why we're live on air. I said, "What?" I said, "Hold on one second." I said, "What is happening?" Because she's talking like out of her mind. And listen, I don't know if it's drugs, mental health, or her scamming the public. Because she also told me, and I'll get to that in a minute, that she makes up stories. Okay, so I say, "What is happening?" I have no idea. And then Nosy says, "I have no idea." Somebody sends Nosy this message to her. They said, "Nosy, please get Jag offline. We are talking about Tori and Meg. Jag sounds like she's going through something." So Nosy sends this to me. I read it. I said, "LOL, the chat is lost. We all lost." Nosy says, "I know." I said, "I'm dying. Like, what the fuck?" She says, "Jag is high. She was caught doing coke on YouTube last year. Her husband too. She didn't know that we heard it." Okay, so Nosy, and this was dated. Let me go back. It ain't. I'm saying this because I'm mad at her. This was back in December. So then one time we're backstage, and I actually seen Jag with my own eyes doing coke. I have to say coke. And if I take any calls, you have to say coke, or I'll get my video will get struck. Her doing coke. So fast forward a couple months later, when she's acting a fool with Solar, I think she was on another blogger's channel. I was going to say the name. I'm not going to say the name. He says, "Tell me what happened." He said, "We were doing lines. We were doing lines." And then another blogger tried to clean it up and said, "Oh, he didn't say lines. He said live." No, he said lines. Okay. They're two stone cold addicts. But the scary part is you mix that with lithium, a little alcohol. So when she has these outbursts, I don't know if it's mental health, if it's drugs,
Right.
or if she's doing it on purpose. Let me go back to that. So you guys heard about this famous conversation that we had with her and Nosy and another blogger. And because, hi, Jag, I'm done feeding you. You're finished. Tell Perry I said he can take a nap now. Whatever, Jag.
I know.
I'm tired of you.
I know, Sharrell.
If you
But you
were
know what,
listening,
though? Thanks for the $20, Jag, but it would have been well
Jag,
worth it
you're not going to stop me from
looking
talking.
into a mental
And you need
institution.
to listen to me because I am worried about you. You can't be doing all that shit. Let's go back to the night of the conversation when it was me, you, and another blogger on the phone. Nosy said, before that, we're on a virtual call. I see Jag lean down. No, Jag, let me tell my story. I'll bring you up in a minute. Let me tell my story because I'm telling the truth.
Right.
Lean down and what do they call it? Shoot, just snort it. That's what they say. Snort
Right.
it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't even know how you deal with that. It's so much. Jag, I will take your call when I'm done. Let me tell my story. Now I'm getting ready to turn the thing off. I'm sorry. I have to tell the story. And I'm telling you this because I'm worried about you. I ain't doing this shit for clicks and views. It has to stop. So that
Right.
the day we had the phone call, child, she is stop. The day we had the phone call, they get into it. Nosy says, "I'm not gonna do it," and by this time, her y'all are messy. I'm not even trying to be messy. We're talking, we already know she on drugs, but we hid it. We protected Jag. We didn't make money off of it. I could have went straight to my channel and start saying, "Guess what I seen last night?" We didn't. And we had a good relationship with Jag. And as a matter of fact, you called me a couple of days ago and you said, "I miss Nosy." But you talk shit about her on these videos. You said all she has to do is apologize. Nosy was a very good friend to you. Very good. Held your secrets, held you down. She held you down. But you made her content. So let me get to the content part. So she calls me back after these two get into it, and she says, "Sharrell," because Nosy saying, "You moving funny. All these damn videos, they getting worse and worse." And she tells me, "Sharrell, I know what I'm doing. I gotta make these videos as juicy as I can. I'm trying to go viral. I need money. I'm living out of my car. And sometimes we go to different hotels." You said that. But right there, you admitted you knew you make these videos as crazy as you can make them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting there watching these videos like this is just getting out of hand. And the audience is eating it up. They're believing every single word. I did not say I met you in person. I'm going to ignore you, Jag, because you're trying to distract me. So listen, I feel like if Jag and the audience is loving it and they are going rah, 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 and the stories are getting crazier and crazier. Jay-Z's following me. And I'm looking at there are bloggers who do that. Do what you do. I don't do that. And I said from the very beginning, I want no parts of that. I was very clear with you. I want no parts of that.
Right.
You can go and plot all this shit and act as crazy you want. I want no parts of it because number one, that always comes back to haunt you because the audience will put up with it for a while, and then after a while they're gonna be like, okay, this is just getting worse and worse.
Mm-hmm.
I was very clear with you. I want no parts of that. So my story's gonna be out of sequence, but I'm telling you how it happened. So the night, and you had told me the day before you was going to make Storm Monroe your target. Cool, that's what you do. I want no parts of that. So when I came in on that other Black bloggers channel, I was coming to your ass because I always told you, don't include me in your mess. You want to go after Storm? You think of a storyline to go with Storm that doesn't involve Sharrell's ass. So when I came in heated, the audience don't know what's going on, but your ass know what's going on, and that's why you hung up. For whatever your reason is. And I told you when you called into my show, I said, I don't want any parts of your messiness. The day that we said we weren't coming on your show, something said, I better just go ahead and put this in writing because this is no way this is going to turn out good. Hold on. So I say to you, now we had a long conversation in which you tell me that you know what you're doing. You're trying to make these this videos as juicy as you could. And don't forget, you've been telling stories that just don't make no damn sense. But the audience is eating it up and they're believing it. I said, Jag, I'm sorry all this happened. I like I told you, I was doing this with Nosy. I'm not trying to get in the middle of all this mess. You're lying and scheming with the videos. You and Nosy. I just want to know parts of it. You say, it's still there. No worries. I respect your choice. I'm not mad at all. In case we don't speak. You try to act like I stopped speaking to you because of Nosy. I'll stop speaking with you because before this shit is getting crazier and crazier. There's no way I could be taking all that shit, making up all these lies. So when you have these outbursts, I don't know if it's drugs. I don't know if it's coke. Also, you're mourning. You would call me talking about how you miss your son. It could be mental health. And I'm kind of confused because you got all this stuff going on, but you are consciously aware of what you're doing when you put these videos out. I think, so you're aware of what you're doing. And sometimes you're high as a kite when you're doing this shit, and it just turns into a big disaster. For me, I'm looking at you saying, damn. Everybody else, go Jag, get him, old Jag. And I'm like, damn, Jag is self-destructing.
Right.
Jag is self-destructing. Your stories are getting crazier and crazier. Then you make that mistake of pulling me in your shit, and I was done with you. I was done. Because I told you I don't want any part of this. Next thing that I know, I look up my goddamn name in the title. So what? I came at you hard. You had nothing to say, and you hung up. Let me show you guys this. because Jag act one way in person and another way off camera. So I go in on her. Y'all seen it. And Conscious, you was here for this one. Hold on. I go into her. What does she do? Yeah, I did it wrong. Let me try it again. Is it this one? Let's try that. Hold on.
I'm just praising Jesus right now.
She calls me the next day. So, like, Jag will put on a show and then call me the next day like nothing fucking happened. But I'm pissed at you. Not more, no more. Because you could have smoked all you wanted to and got as high as you wanted to and sniffed all you wanted to and kept making an outrageous story. Your fatal mistake was bringing me into this, because I done told you on one then more occasion, I want no part of your mess. But you call me the next day like shit ain't happened. You text me, because now I know. So when I get mad at a person, I'll stop taking your calls. I will only text you. Because now I know I need some evidence. If you're a good friend of mine and I don't pick up your call and I start texting you, you know we done. And I'm looking for receipts. You call me. Oh, about this. Oh, before the next day, before yesterday. These Lunel tickets. So she calls me out the blue. She tells me she's coming to Vegas. And she wants to know if I want to go with her, if I want some tickets and go with her to the show. But something said, and it was Perry, so it wasn't me. She ain't even in Vegas. I said, how you didn't know? She said, I got a feeling. So she calls me. I'm booking tickets now. Are you still going to the Lunel show? I call her back. I say no. She said, well, we can hang out tomorrow. I said, okay. Now, all this time, she's forgetting that she is going live from Phoenix. So she's making me think she's in Vegas, but she's not. I don't even know what was the reason for that. I text her the next morning, where y'all at? I text her at 5 p.m. She doesn't return the message till the next day, 3:21. Call me. Oh, I'm not in Vegas. But then they go on another blogger show and they're talking about how great it is. Where you at? You in Vegas yet? Like, this is just getting ridiculous.
Right. It's sad, actually.
And like that, I don't know if she's doing this. Why would you tell me you in Vegas? Is it you talking out the side of your head, or you just setting me up? Like, what? But anyway, so after I go in on her on another person's show, she calls me the next day. I'm on the phone with Conscious. I said, damn, it's Jag. So I'm gonna make her ass text me, because I'm not picking that shit up. She says, call me. It's serious. Not mad at you. Bigger fish to fry. I'll call you back. So I call her. It was the weirdest conversation. And Perry, you're my witness for this.
Yeah.
She says, I need to file a claim. Like, what the fuck is you talking about? Starts rattling off some numbers. Like, what? Then she hangs up.
Right.
I'm just like, well,
but can I tell you what that was about a little bit? Or yeah. I don't want to take you off your path, right?
No, go ahead.
And the reason why I was like, that's weird. She's telling you to call her. You call her. Then you get this. I think people like to play people.
You think what?
Like to play people. And I think she wanted you to hear that part. So when her new lie came out, you was like, no, I heard her personally filing the claim.
Child, I want no parts of that.
No. I'm just saying that's what that was about.
Mm-hmm. So then she calls me right before she goes on and tells this fire news. Okay. I right away, I don't believe it. I'm saying, okay, here we go again, Jag. Here we go again. But this firefighter emailed me last night. Hold on. He says, Sharrell, there's absolutely no way that story is true. He sent a whole bunch of pictures and proof and stuff. But I realized that, so I Google reversed this picture and it came back to this site. And I realized that another blogger had read exactly what was on the site. But he said the way that I know that never could have happened, he said they have code words or, special ways that they're taught. They said if that car was on fire, it wouldn't say alarm structural fire. It would say vehicular fire.
Right.
She absolutely made that story up.
Yeah. I mean, well, no, I get it.
It's getting worse.
She definitely made it up. She made the story up, and just the whole setup about it, how they went partying, how that part they had down packed, right? They could tell you what happened, who made advances on another chick, why somebody getting mad, why they went back to the hotel, why somebody stepped out. But they never tell you how they can find the car the next morning if the guy didn't know where the car was. Right? Like,
so I
oh,
didn't
get
even
parking
hear
somewhere.
that.
Well, I know it's a mess. I mean, it's like, but then really at that point, I had sort of checked out
Me too.
because really bad shit happen to people all the time in life. That's why sometimes I think it could be mental, but then I think it could be desperation, somebody looking to hustle, somebody looking to scam.
Well, okay, so hustle, let me add this. When she told me that she needed money, she said she was opening up her app, is it called? I don't know, Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
But she actually told me that she opened it up under a LLC. And she was like, if I don't pay this off, it's gonna become, what did you say, Perry? The state is gonna dissolve it.
Yeah, something like that. I think that's what they call it when you don't pay it because it's no longer active. You know what I mean?
And I think that's what's happening because people come to me like, what? Like, what? I don't have nothing to do with that damn app. And they were like, I bought this. I didn't get any. I sent my money in. I didn't get anything back. Or I tried to ask for a refund. I don't get anything back. So something's going on with that app. Because I want everybody to be fully aware of what's going on. Y'all might not believe me. I don't care. But that warning is out there. These stories are going to get crazier and crazier. And to the nerve. This is why I'm done with you. Because I feel sorry for you. Because it's a lot, you got a lot going on in your life. But when I was done is when you tried to drag my ass into it. Then not only did you try to drag me into it, you wanted it to set it up so Storm will have a problem with me. Or vice versa. You just out of line. I told you from day one, don't pull me in your mess. Oh, and let me go back to this. Hold on, let me put this up. Oops. Child. When you start talking crazy, this is an example. I don't want nothing to do with your ass. Because it's too much. It's too much going on. So when Nosy told me that she had seen it before too, I said, girl, I'm dropping. I can't. Call me when you're done making your money. I never want to be around. I don't want no involvement in this mess. She used to call me in the middle of the night and say, I gotta move. This person's following me. And I believed her at first, but then I realized it could be when you take a lot of coke. What's some psychosis? Everybody's following you. You get paranoid.
Right.
Then when it's just start getting ridiculous, you start adding crazy names like Jay-Z's at the gas station and he looking at you now. Jay-Z is not thinking about you.
Yep.
And then when you tell these stories, you'll forget and you'll tell one version and another version and another version. I
Right.
just don't want no parts of it. I know you have other people in your family that struggles with mental health. So I don't know what's going on. I can't figure it out. But I'm doing this for two reasons. One, so everybody stop giving you all that attention. And I know this ain't gonna work, but maybe one day somebody will come and see this damn video. People are gonna be right back watching those damn videos. It's like people can't help it. To see a train wreck in motion, they go right away and they believe it and they believe it. Two, I'm never talking to you again, but I want to leave you with these words. I'm worried about you. You need to get off the internet and go seek some help. And I'm saying this gently because something's going to happen to you, Jag. It can't go on forever like this. It just can't. So, but she'll be right back at it tomorrow. And then I heard you were made me content, okay, because you did Nosy the same way. So if she thinks she can get a view off of your name, she Nosy's a witch, nosy. And I said, why are you even doing this? Why are you bringing y'all problems in front of the public? Because she's content now. That's what she told me. And she'll go nosy. And now it's going to be Sharrell. I don't really give a damn about that because the public, I've been here before. So this is what happens. When you got a name, they'll start making all these videos and giving their opinions and whatever. And I don't even like twisting the story around. It really doesn't faze me. I've been through this so many times. People giving their opinions and, some of them have self-gain. So when these kind of things happen, then you have your haters come out that was mad at me for, I don't know, not putting them on my channel, whatever. I really ignore it. So I'm not really bothered about that. I'm really, and watch this. After I came out and put her on blast and told the truth, she'll call me tomorrow.
Hell, she was just trying to call you. She was trying to call you a few minutes ago.
Weird. So she acts like she hates me in the public. She'll call me tomorrow, and I'm going to tell you the same thing. Jag, this is getting out of hand. You have to stop. Because any minute now, either something physically going to happen to you, or the public going to get sick of you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, we all love to watch Kanye at first. We was like, what is he saying? What is he doing? And then we got to the point where I can't. Okay, Kanye, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So it is what it is. She'll call me tomorrow.
And that's where we're heading pretty much. Is that like I think because she's been lashing out all day. But nothing of substance, right? Because that's how childish she is. And I don't want to say it because she may have a mental issue or whatever. It could be other things, right? But I'm just at the end of the day, when you throw these accusations at my wife and myself, I only can look at it and say, damn, this is a miserable child, right?
Well, yeah.
No, she's miserable. Okay.
I know.
And for whatever reason. But my wife told you, do not get her involved in this. But she's upset because she's a very good storyteller. She'll tell, this happened, and you'd be like, damn, that happened. Until I even heard today, where she says, oh, her miserable, she's nothing but a hag. Her miserable.
She said that about me.
Oh, yeah. And then
to tell you the truth,
okay,
Jag,
right.
You're gonna do all these videos about me. I don't even watch. But that's not because of you. I've been through this before when people make videos. I just don't watch it.
Right. It's just
childish, and I go on about my business.
Unless she can come up with some legal
is good pub. Is right. Pub.
Unless she can come up with some good facts that make sense. Her go-to is, oh, peen in the mouth, coochie sucking. I mean, who cares about that? And then she's getting to some shit about, what Perry need is so he can F his wife right. It's the rock. Well, I mean, I know you know about rocks. I know you probably know a lot about rocks. you and your man, right? Y'all do what y'all want to do, but nobody's trying to be part of your scam.
Yeah.
I'm
Mhm.
not. And you want us to come here and you drop a false story and want us to run with it. I know other content creators would do it because they're gonna make money while you jumping on their channel. Which at the same time, I used to look at them and say, well, damn, you know what? Maybe y'all should just be honest with the girl. But at this point, they probably saying, what's the use? They could be honest and you ain't gonna do nothing but turn on them. So they might as well make the money.
And that will explain, because so she, when all this was going on, she went on another content creator's channel. Well, first her husband did, and he was like, "Did you see we got 1 million views?"
Mm-hmm.
They tricking y'all. Y'all falling for it. Y'all gonna watch this video. I'm saying, look, this is a money grab, and y'all gonna go back and watch it anyway, because that's what people do. For some, not all, the troublemakers, the people that love drama, and they're watching you not because they care about you. They're watching the wreck. You have a lot of people around you that shouldn't be around you, but you're a grown-ass woman. If I know you're suffering from mental health, if I know you're mourning, if I know you're on drugs, and I let you go out there anyway
Mm-hmm.
and profit off of it, it's the wrong people to have around you. I wanted to talk about this. So now we got the Larry Reid sector. Okay.
Can I just add something before we go into that, Sharrell?
Well, it still has to do with Jag. Yeah, go
Okay.
ahead. Go ahead.
I think the circumstances are very unfortunate. Jaguar Smollett, there's a lot of things that you need to be speaking to, babes. And it might be why you and Goomba had your cash apps up while y'all sold a illegitimate story to the public. Now, you got to remember, Jag, that you cash apped Sharrell and said, to prepare for a lawsuit. But not only did Sharrell present text messages that corroborate there's another witness to said allegations, she herself is a witness. But did you forget that your own husband said you was doing lines of something when them firefighters had you hog tied to the urgent care gurney in the parking lot? He said that you and Solar was doing lines amongst another content creator. So are you going to sue Goomba as well, Jack Smollett?
Yeah, he said
I
it.
land my plan there.
He said it like on air. Like I don't know if you realize he said it, but he said it.
Right. Let me touch on that too, because she did say this today, right? And not that it bothered me, because you know what? I'm 55 years old, right? And you heard this in the 5th or 6th grade. Oh, Perry, this and that. But your husband ain't nothing but a caregiver, and not a good one at that. His only thing is to be there to take care of you. He ain't doing a good job. You was already erratic. With his behavior, you even worse. So you can come with all these things about, oh, Perry and Sharrell, this and that. If you had something on us, you would drop it. But it's a lot of other things I could say or questions I could ask you about your personality or your past that you probably couldn't answer. Because like part of me always wondered, since you want to go there.
Harry, no.
Oh,
I said
okay.
I was gonna be.
Okay, all right.
I
Okay,
don't want
I'm sorry.
to
Okay, I'm sorry.
say. I don't want to.
Right, I get it.
I'm really doing this to help Jag. I'm
Mhm.
not trying to say real personal things.
Right.
So let's just leave that. I said, well, I wanted to add more part. There are people around Jag that, for some reason, they don't want me in conscious to cover the Larry Reid story. And I really think that it was well thought out, the video when I came in and cussed her out, because it made no sense. But I really think there are a couple of Larry supporters that there's a lot of big bloggers that say that story don't make sense, Tasha K. and we were asking for receipts, and we're putting out more and more evidence. I think the reason she's decided to pull me into this storm shit, because she thought she was going to divide and conquer. Do you know what I mean by that? She thought that she would get in the middle of the people that feel that Larry's innocent and bust that up. Because now when we do a Larry Reid story, we not just talking, we throwing out receipts, and the receipts are going to get stronger and stronger. You don't throw out your biggest evidence when you're going to court. So sometimes some of this stuff might not seem strong enough, the evidence, but we there's no way in hell Larry's going to lose this case. Go ahead, Conscious. So that's what I had to say.
I wanted to add too. Some people are saying, well, the husband said lives, not lines. So I'm gonna say some people heard lines, some people heard lives, but when you talk in Ebonics and you got a heavy tongue, that's what happens, baby. Translation is very glitchy. Okay, so if you're not gonna speak perfect, articulate English when going the hell off, you are bound to be misinterpreted, misquoted, etc. So, we all need to be aware when we hit that live button, baby. We need to speak with perfect diction and clarity, because some people hear lines, some people heard lives. Okay. So.
I heard lines, especially if you know a person is doing coke.
Allegedly.
I know what I heard.
Allegedly, sure.
Said lines.
Allegedly.
Anyway, so Jack got a serious money grab going on. Now, y'all can keep donating if you want. That's up to y'all. But I'm telling y'all the straight out truth, the facts, what's going on. Because I could say that somebody's a crook or it's about a money grab over and over and over, and people still don't believe it. There is more than enough proof that Bishop Whitehead is a crook. Some people still believe him. They believe him. We believe the victims. We believe the victims. And we're saying they got a motive here. So we just gonna keep outing different individuals. I think we should do Levantre next. So since everybody claims they believe the victim, but today is about Whitehead. Take it from here, Conscious.
Okay, you guys. So you guys know that while everybody has been trying to come down on Sharrell or myself, or the very little people that are informed by the facts and the data presented by Larry Reid's side, despite the fact that Levantre has had the help of Bishop Criminal Head, aka Bishop Whitehead. He's having the help of Unhinged with Budweiser K. He's had the help of a previous YouTube uploader. He's got a whole village behind him, but for whatever reason, it just got to be Larry in his jumpsuit. That's Team Larry, which is very bizarre to me. So it brings into question everybody around Levantre, because Levantre now has been caught in several hundred lies. His thick-armed, pancake cooking mother also was caught in several thousand lies during her interview. That interview did not help. And then you also have this interesting pattern of mugshots amongst this particular crew. You got Levantre, who's arrested by theft by taking a drum set. You got Unhinged, who looking like the Brooklyn vampire in her mugshot. And then you have Bishop Criminal Head, baby, who loves to frequent an all-male prison. Okay, that just seems to be something that he's very much so interested in being, is amongst a lot of masculine, same-gender loving men, if you will. So, would you know, Sharrell, that while I'm up here holding the space for you and lighting a candle for you and Perry as it relates to Jaguar Smollett, that a new article literally broke out in real time about Bishop Criminal Head. So I think we should start there for a second and then work backwards.
It's your show. Go ahead.
Let's do it.
I
Let's
can't.
Do you? let the people see this here headline that just this article just literally got published, and here it is. According to the NY Daily News, Mayor Adams' bling bling pal Lamar Whitehead is refusing to let the feds access 13 devices seized from his home. The bling bling bishop isn't playing ball with the feds. Lamar Whitehead, a criminally charged Brooklyn pastor who's friends with Mayor Adams, is refusing to furnish federal prosecutors with passwords to 13 electronic devices they seized from him, delaying the discovery process in his case, according to court records. Whitehead was arrested in December and indicted on a laundry list of charges for allegedly swindling a retired parishioner out of tens of thousands of dollars, extorting a businessman, and lying to investigators in a
Wait, hold on, Conscious.
Yes.
Listen, this Bishop Whitehead got together allegedly with Tasha K and devised this plan.
Yes.
The Daily News is calling him a liar, and people still want to believe what they want to believe. Go ahead.
Oh, not only does Daily News calling him what he allegedly has been charged by the U.S. government for being, the NY Post, BET, MTV, Bravo, Viacom, BET Plus, the Animal Channel, the Cartoon Network are all calling him accordingly. Yes. In a previously unknown wrinkle, the Fed seized 15 electronic devices from Whitehead around the time of his arrest as part of a search warrant execution. Prosecutors wrote in a letter filed in Manhattan federal court this week. Prosecutors said they've been able to extract the data they need from two of the Whitehead's devices. They have not been able to access the remaining 13, however, because they're locked with passwords, according to the filing dated January the 30th. The feds have asked Whitehead's legal team to fork over the passwords to the 13 devices, as that would allow for their immediate extraction, they wrote. But Whitehead does not intend to provide these passwords, the feds wrote, adding that they thereby have to wait for software necessary to tap into the devices. They said they expect to get the software later this quarter. Whitehead's lawyer, Brian L. Disbard Ponder, did not return a request for comment Friday on why his client is withholding said passwords.
Oh my.
That literally,
and this man is suing Larry Reed for $20 million.
A frivolous lawsuit that is
lawsuit.
That is going.
The whole Levantre story, the whole Larry Reed is a money grab. Keep going. Sorry. And ain't he broke? Ain't he broke?
Yeah, his home is in foreclosure, and he just successfully attended bankruptcy court yesterday for the second time because he's fighting over a church. Matter of fact, Sharrell, you might also be interested in this here. Speaking of Unhinge's current new bishop, okay.
Didn't I say that?
Let's see.
This is a money grab. All parties involved don't got no money. Some people owe $4 million to certain rappers. Ain't nobody involved got no money but Larry Reed.
The mugshot crew. I just shared my screen.
It's crazy.
I just shared my screen, Sharrell.
Oh, sorry.
No problem.
God, I'm heated.
This is what he's in bankruptcy court over. According to the Daily News, Bling Bling Bishop Lamar Whitehead battles another church in legal brawl, boots congregation from the building. Take a listen to this real quick. An unholy war is brewing in Brooklyn. Bling Bishop Lamar Whitehead is embroiled in a nasty real estate battle with another church and booted its congregation out of a house of worship just days before Christmas. The legal battle fight over a Canarsie church building is the latest chapter in the saga of the flashy cleric who was indicted on federal fraud and extortion charges earlier this week. On December 14th, Whitehead had a work crew change the locks at the Glory of God Global Ministry Church on Foster Avenue near East 59th Street in what the church's lawyers, Nicholas Yokas, referred to as one of the most brazen, illegal commercial lockouts I've seen in over a decade of practice.
Stop right there. I want the chat to know exactly what you're saying. They're saying that Bishop Whitehead, the church that he's in now,
the current one,
another congregation was in that church.
Yes.
He kicked them out that church and changed the locks. He stole the church.
Damn. Who steals a church?
He stole the church. He's been doing press conferences from that church. That's where the alleged robbery went down. If you believe a man that stole a whole church and kicked a whole congregation out and said, see, if you say anything about it, what you gonna do about it? You know what I mean? You're bold as hell. Go ahead. Sorry, Conscience.
And this is the new building, because remember, the church he got robbed in, he was evicted out of that building because of the robbery, and then it was followed by his domestic violence dispute with Tarsha Howard, who was the unarmed Black woman that he shoved head first out of the sanctuary after inviting her up for a magical melee with him. So that owner of that event space houses bar mitzvahs, birthdays, weddings, and he would hold his service there with all 7.5 of his members at that particular building. So he sees this building, and just look at how ruthless this execution was. Quote, Lamar said to us that he's in the possession of the building and that he has the right to do whatever he wants, the deacon said. And over the weekend, Whitehead's workers threw the church's belongings and furniture into the dumpsters, Wilson said. Okay, so I won't bore you with the rest of that, but that's why he was in bankruptcy court, because they are fighting over this property right now because there are various liens on the property and somebody else tried to illegally seize it and the paperwork is all knotted up, but this church is battling him out for their stuff.
Now, Conscious, can you imagine? I knock on your door, you answer the door, I say, get out, I live here now. Get out, and I'm gonna change the locks.
I'm fighting somebody to damn day.
This is a bold criminal. So if you could kick a whole congregation out your church, what is it? It's nothing for you to devise a plan, a money grab to make money off of YouTube. I just see that too. If you could kick people out of church, then you could lie on Larry Reed. Oh,
so do you really want me to get into it, Sharrell?
It's up to you. Go ahead.
All right, let's go ahead and share. So let's speak about this lawsuit, this frivolous lawsuit. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen. Okay.
Here I come.
So
hold on.
Make sure you guys thumbs up this video. Okay, so here is Bishop Lamar Whitehead. Okay, this would be
not pull out a mugshot.
Mugshot 1 and 2, baby. Okay, he looked like Floyd Banks here from G Unit in this particular mugshot. And then he looked like his mother's only son here in this mugshot. Okay. Now there are two foundational grounds for this frivolous lawsuit. Okay. He claims that the doctor, okay, where are my notes here? He claimed that the doctor called him a scammer. Well, guess what? 2 mugshots would clearly indicate that, because according to the U.S. government, in 2004, Suffolk County, New York police received complaints from 9 residents claiming that their identities were being used to purchase Range Rover cars. After arresting one suspect, the newly formed Identity Theft Investigation Unit began to pursue Whitehead, who had shared the same address as the first suspect. The following year, Whitehead took a $2,000 personal loan from conductor Maximo Bragado Darman and his son Julio Bragado Young. According to a lawsuit, Whitehead promised to repay the loan in 1 month along with $25,000 As of 2022, Whitehead continues to owe Brigado Dahman $261,000 following
I
the court
can't.
judgment.
Wow.
In later 2005, Whitehead was living in Teaneck, New Jersey, following a criminal complaint. He was arrested by Port Authority police in Upper Manhattan while driving a maroon Range Rover. Following the arrest, police discovered that Whitehead was operating an extensive fraud and identity theft operation to take out more than $2 million in loans and purchase motor vehicles. More than 50 victims were identified from states including Tennessee, Georgia, and New York. Whitehead was charged with multiple counts of identity theft and convicted in 2005. He served 5 years in Sing Sing Correctional Facility before being released in 2013.
And after all that, I'm still gonna have people say, what motive would Bishop Whitehead and Tasha K and Levantre, what reason would they have to go after lie on Larry Reed? Money. We could prove every single one of them are broke. Money. They are all broke and can be proven to be broke. All of them. Larry Reed had rich. I can't believe it. And some people, we're going to go down everybody's financial background, and some people still will say, I believe the victims. But that's why we got to do Levantre next. We got to do Levantre.
And Sharrell, let me say this real fast too. When you say the victim, there's no problem with believing the victim. But if you're going to believe somebody, they need to come up with some kind of facts or receipts. That's all.
Yeah, he's not a victim. He's an accuser. He becomes a victim.
Using the wrong word.
Yeah.
Right. You're right.
He's an accuser, not a victim. And look, these are excerpts from all public records, etc. And because we're going over this, because this is a part of his lawsuit against Larry, that Larry called him a scammer. Well, so did the U.S. government. Your two mugshots convert and convey that. But let's go a little bit further into that. If you want to know the details of how Mr. Whitehead allegedly did this, Sharrell and Perry, read this excerpt from the NewYorker.com. Whitehead was convicted of a startling fraud on Long Island using information that he obtained from a girlfriend, an employee at a Honda dealership in Patrick.
No.
Whitehead stole the identities of more than a dozen of the dealership's customers. He used those identities to purchase luxury vehicles. A prosecutor called it one of the largest identity theft cases in Suffolk County had seen. During his trial, Whitehead got ordained as a pastor and wore clerical collars to court appearances. Okay, so he was co-conspirating with his girlfriend who worked at a Honda dealership, who was ciphering people's personal information to him while he was living the lap of luxury off of these people's credit, allegedly.
So he can steal hundreds of people, a lot of people's identity. But when it comes to going after Larry Reed, he wouldn't do that.
And so after he got caught, that's when he got ordained, so he can fool people and act like he was a good guy.
Exactly. The man's a crook.
Wow.
Oh,
The man's a crook.
But not just a crook here, a crook in New Mexico, allegedly too.
What?
Another reference to the New Yorker article which was detailed journalism. Okay, check this out. Years before his identity theft conviction, Whitehead was charged with 2 counts of forgery in the 3rd degree in New Mexico. The case was dismissed after he made full restitution to the victims. Oh, and it keeps going and
no,
going and going.
I can't take it. I can't take it.
Now, it's more, because now we're getting into motive here, right? You have a man who filed a frivolous lawsuit against Larry. The lawsuit is going to get thrown out because the things that Larry said were actually true. Okay, he can call Whitehead a scammer, not only because he has prior convictions and mugshots to corroborate his statement, but he also was currently indicted under the feds and is facing trial for more extortion and identity theft related crimes as well. But check out one of the motives here, Sharrell and Perry. In 2021, Whitehead was sued in New York by a former congregant by the name of Pauline Anderson, who claimed that he defrauded her of $90,000 of her retirement money, her life savings. According to the complaint in November 2020, Whitehead promised to assist her in improving her credit score as well as purchasing and renovating a house in exchange for $90,000 of an investment. Whitehead further promised to repay Anderson in full as well as $100 each month until the property was fully renovated. Further, Anderson claims in the complaint that in May 2021, Whitehead texted her and said the $90,000 was not an investment, but rather a campaign contribution that Whitehead was under no obligation to repay. Whitehead has denied all claims, and the matter remains in court. But let's just go a little bit further here. He's facing another lawsuit, okay? One for $90,000, which he's also facing current indictment charges over. But he's also in another litigation, okay? This is an excerpt from the New York Post. Fendi Lovin' ex-con Bishop Lamar Whitehead stiffed a campaign worker out of more than $50,000 while making a failed run to Brooklyn Bureau President. Court papers allege. The headline-grabbing clergyman's former campaign street team manager, Yes Andry, claims in a lawsuit that Whitehead hired him last year to recruit staffers to help the bishop make his improbable political run, but never made good on his promise to reimburse the plaintiff for the thousands of dollars he forced to shell out to pay workers. Andry accuses Whitehead of fraud, breach of contract, and unjust enrichment in the complaint, which was filed July 29th. He owes me money. He cannot evade it, he told the Post on Tuesday. I have the proof. Now, there's one more I want to read, okay? Going further into that lawsuit, okay, Whitehead was previously convicted of grand larceny and identity theft, claimed Monday that he now believes even the NYPD seems to think at this point that he staged the robbery, okay? So even the police don't even believe this lawsuit was genuine, which Larry Reed never spoke on, by the way. Larry always believed the robbery was genuine. Okay, that was never his commentary. The police department has said the case is ongoing. Now, according to Andry's lawsuit, the bishop hired him in April 2021. Okay, so when it comes to motive, Sharrell and Perry, this frivolous lawsuit, Mr. Lamar Whitehead is attempting to rob Peter to pay Paul, so to speak. Okay, these frivolous lawsuits by the female VJ in New York, the frivolous lawsuits against Larry Reed, etc., are all an attempt for him to cover his legal fees when it comes to these lawsuits that he's facing from various individuals. Okay.
Wow.
So some of this is personal because Larry didn't accept him as a friend, and Larry hurt his feelings when he imitated the way the bishop got down, face down, ass up on the ground when those toxic masculine men ran up on him and he had no smoke for. So between the personal and then the financial gain of this in order to, fight his way through other litigations. Yeah, that seems to be the motive for these lawsuits.
Wow.
I want to, were you done, Conscious?
For now.
I want to play this clip.
Okay.
Of Bishop. He's such a con. You guys, take a listen to this.
All right, y'all. So, I don't care if people like me or not, right? That's your prerogative. You do what you want to do. It's your opinion or advice. My job is to make sure that I am as honorable as I can be, respectful, just a man of integrity, right? But what people can't accept from Bishop Whitehead is I'm a real person. I'm a real person.
I just want to show you the conning. Okay.
Wow. He a real
he said
person.
He's a man of integrity.
A real person.
People believe
but he's stealing from elderly women their
I
entire
know.
their
I
entire
know.
life savings allegedly. He's literally withholding passwords to 15 electronic devices from the federal government allegedly, but he's an integral, honest person. He sniped $50,000 out of a campaign worker. He intimidated another campaign worker out of $5,000 after he allegedly berated and intimidated and threatened to beat this man to a pope if he didn't give him the $5,000 he was begging for. But he's integral. He filed a frivolous lawsuit against a man who made 2 honest statements about him, but he's integral. He put his hands on an unarmed black woman that he invited into his presence, but he's integral. He locked his spiritual wife and her emotional support baby into the mansion the day she was trying to flee the city from his ass, allegedly, but he's integral. He has a history of scamming folk, whether it's at the Mexican border or at the U.S. Embassy, of their personal identity, but he's integral. He's constantly using violence in his rhetoric against online bloggers and media outlets he don't like, but he's integral and a man of the cloth, if you will.
And also, his first wife accused him, right, of being improper with their daughter.
Oh, let's earn our way toward that victory line, Sharrell, because I want to go back to something too, because we're going to travel there, honey. Yeah, I came to.
So then, for now, he allegedly has
Yeah,
been accused of
and I
improper
came.
things.
I came to foreplay y'all before we get to the until we get to the big stuff. I just shared my screen here. Okay. Now, another thing that set off the beef between Larry Reed and Bishop Criminal Head is that he believed that Larry put the feds onto him, but the feds were looking at all of his social medias already. They were following his situations with other bloggers, including Larry. Larry made a statement that there had been some people that had reached out to him about Bishop and had showed him receipts on being scammed by the bishop. So the feds contacted Larry, okay? But the bishop is creating a narrative that Larry is the one who got the feds on him. But you're going to see another excerpt from this New Yorker article. Check this out. A auto dealer way back in the day met Bishop Lamar, who brought in one of his luxury vehicles for repair, okay? Named Belmonte, okay? He claims that Whitehead offered to broker a meeting with Eric Adams, whose name he's always throwing around. Quote, he kept telling me we're going to make millions together, Belmonte said. And he said, you got to give me the $5,000 or I'm going to beat you up. That's the situation I was just telling y'all about. Whitehead, through his lawyer, denied this and other accounts of his actions described in the article. On a friend's advice, Belmonte caught an investigator at the U.S. Attorney's Office in Manhattan. Quote, I said, I think the mayor of New York is on the take, Belmonte recalled. And he said, what do you mean? The investigator patched in colleagues and Belmonte told them his story. I said, the mayor of New York City is trying to extort me through someone else. That's someone else being Whitehead, he said. The next morning, FBI agents arrived at Belmonte's door. They asked Belmonte to call Whitehead and begin recording. Belmonte told Whitehead that he was ready to do business with him. So the feds had been on Bishop Whitehead's head for several years prior to him and Larry's debacle last year. But to further corroborate that the FBI been on his head prior to Larry Reed, check this out. His ex-girlfriend, Miss Gordon, died in November 2020. He didn't even know Larry in 2020 of complications from Carisha-19. According to her mother and sister, on at least one occasion, the ex-girlfriend spoke to the FBI.
And that makes that a frivolous case.
About Whitehead. She kept records from her days of working with him, some of which they shared with me, the journalist is saying. To her last days, Gordon believed that Whitehead's arrest was imminent. Bozo, you're going to see, they're going to get him, she told a friend not long before she fell ill. So I'm just citing how long the feds been on Bishop's head before Larry Reed ever knew of Bishop, they ever came into personal contact. So once again, these are all failed attempts for him to justify a frivolous beef with Larry, all because his ego got hurt because Larry didn't want to reciprocate the FaceTime calls in the middle of the night. Oh, but let's talk about the middle of the night, Perry and Sharrell. Let's talk about the middle of the night because hold on. Right, come on, let me see. Okay. The mayor who what that? Okay, Democratic Party. Okay, hold on, because there's something here I think that is interesting. Okay, maybe not. Okay, so speaking of girlfriend, okay, there's something that I'm trying to find here, Sharrell.
I know it's good too.
Oh yes, I have to get it. I have to. Oh, here it is. Yeah. So Brian L. Ponder, the attorney that's now representing Bishop Whitehead, who was just clowning him shortly after Larry told everyone that the feds had contacted him on behalf of Whitehead. Okay. And Brian L. Ponder is on record literally saying that Larry is right, that he also believes there are more Pauline Andersons who have been robbed out of their money by his now client, and that he also predicted that his client's shelf life was very short at this time. For whatever reason, Bishop Whitehead wasn't his client, but now is, even though he agreed and confirmed all of Larry's sentiments. Well, guess what? Brian L. Ponder did an interview with the Wheelchair Show, and he was very obsessed with me and Larry's sex life together. This has been something that half of social media
the attorney.
The attorney. Oh yeah, the attorney was very much so interested in the conversation that my mentor was blowing my coochie out in the back of cars he purchased for me, and all of this and all of that. And this has also been something that his client Bishop Whitehead had alluded to, that I'm Larry's boyfriend and all of this and all of that and all of this and all of that. So when this New Yorker article also reported, according to that same ex-girlfriend who had been in contact with the feds about Whitehead since 2020, she also gave another interesting tidbit of information, Sharrell and Perry. Listen to this. According to her, Whitehead and his mentor, Eric Adams, met up at concerts, bars, and red carpets. The ex-girlfriend, Miss Gordon, told People that she knew that Whitehead often got out of bed in the middle of the night to go see his mentor, Eric Adams. So then I realized what was happening here. He was projecting what he allegedly did in his relationship to his mentor onto my dynamic.
You think she's saying that he could have possibly been in the same-sex relationship?
She said it with she said it without saying it, which is why she gave all this context about how they used to go and twerk together at concerts.
No, hold on. I want the chat to hear this. She's saying she thinks that Bishop Whitehead and the mayor, Eric Adams, might got a thing going on as in the same sex. I can't. She
was speaking as much parable as she could, baby. She said that Whitehead and his mentor used to go twerk down at concerts and bars together.
Didn't he call Larry Reid the F word?
He did. He's obsessed with the F words. He's obsessed with the F word community. And so I was like, oh, this is why you believe that I'm getting my back blown out, because you were the one waking up in the middle of the night to leave your girlfriend to go see your mentor, allegedly, in the whole hours.
Damn.
I don't know.
See, it all comes together when you get into the meat and the potatoes of it all, where people's beliefs come from, where their narratives come from, why they say the things they say about you. Like, oh, this is projection at its best, boo.
He keeps harping on the fact Larry's gay.
Oh, yeah, and that I'm his boyfriend. He's blowing me out. He's banging me out. He's gutting me out. It's because he was either being gutted or doing the gutting out,
Yeah.
which is
Oh,
what his obsession would be with going back to prison again and again and again to be with all this meat.
No. It's true that some men turn gay while they're in prison.
Uh-huh.
That's a fact. Child, I can't breathe. I don't know. Let me end it by saying this. Wow.
damn. Yeah.
Just wow. Yeah, Perry damn, and I'm wow.
Don't believe me, just watch. Come on. You ready for this, Perry and Sharrell?
There's
I'm
more.
ready for it. I'm ready for it.
We're just going to speak to the character of Mr. Whitehead, okay? Now, you know, he has been going around since he's come on the scene claiming that Arthur Miller, who was a black man who was gunned down by, I believe, New York police. He kind of had a George Floyd scenario, and he's been parading this man around as his father. Well, according to a source, Arthur Miller is not his father. This man died before he was even of age, and that Bishop Lamar's mother allegedly is a crack whore, according to this source who is a part of the family. But check out what Arthur Miller's family, his actual biological daughter and his actual ex-wife, his widowed wife, had to say about Bishop Lamar. This is also an excerpt from the New Yorker, okay? Arthur Miller had 4 children with his wife, Florence. Whitehead was born April 1978, 6 weeks before Miller was Killed to another woman. When I first heard from this young man, I was in my 20s. Lolisa Miller Bradford, the youngest child of Arthur and Florence Miller, told me. Miller Bradford remembers that Whitehead called her in the early 2000s, claiming to be her half brother and saying that he'd heard her family had received a settlement money.
Oh, I can't. Sorry.
For Miller's death, Sharrell. Whitehead hadn't received money, he told her, and he wanted some in order to buy a toy Yoda Camry. Miller Bradford said that she and her siblings offered to fly Whitehead to Florida, where they now live, to take a DNA test. And guess what Whitehead chose to do?
Okay.
Decline the motherfucking offer.
Stop.
Oh, wow.
He pretend that a man was his father, and then he goes to the siblings telling them that I could be your half brother. And how about that settlement money?
Or a money grab.
can't.
Oh, it gets even more interesting.
Does?
As the drama unfolded between the real children of Arthur Miller and the wife and Whitehead, in June of 2014, Miller Bradford and her mother discovered that there had been a ceremony in Miller's honor on the block he was unalived on. Adams and Whitehead had attended, and Adams had given a copy of an official proclamation about Miller to Whitehead. Florence Miller wrote an email to Adams, quote, "I do not want anyone using my husband's name or the tragic, cold-blooded unaliving for publicity and or personal gain," she wrote. "I was also informed that you are working with Pastor Whitehead on different endeavors, which is not of my concern. However, if any of those endeavors consist of the use of my late husband's name or likeness and or his tragic death, I'm going to put my stiletto pump in your neck, nigga."
Oh my God. So that means that that possibly, I got to use my words carefully, Mayor Adams knew that this was a scam.
Yeah, she informed him that this man had not received any that this family had not received any DNA confirmation that Whitehead belonged to Arthur Miller, and that he had had a pattern of going around slinging her late husband's name around as a money grab, the same way that he slings his mentor Eric Adams' names around the city, that he was waking up in the midnight hour to go see in his drawers, allegedly.
Wow.
Y'all ready for more?
No.
Yeah.
Is there more?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, go
You
ahead.
can take a recess if you need it.
No, I think
no.
I'm ready. I'm ready for it.
Okay.
Now you tell everything you got, because I don't want anybody to ask me again why
you don't trust him?
or that what reason would he have to go after Larry Reed? He's unethical, he's shady, and he's broke. Go ahead.
So listen to this now. Now, Whitehead, right, got mad at Larry for all the reasons I just cited in the lawsuit. He got his feelings hurt because Larry didn't entertain a friendship. Larry didn't want Bishop Whitehead getting up out the middle of the night to come in to see his ass. And Whitehead got upset, okay? And because he felt like Larry mocked the robbery, okay? But what's fascinating is that he weaponized this fake ass accuser of Larry's who had already had his story vetted in another litigation in 2021, which we've already gone over on your platform. Okay, he weaponized those allegations despite knowing they were bogus at their base, at their heart, out of pettiness. Well, what's interesting about him acting like he's not butthurt over Larry rejecting him and him acting like he's an advocate for so-called victims is that, according to the same New Yorker article, this is another excerpt from them. Check this out. Mr. Advocate, right, for victims, justice for the victims. Well, Mr. Advocate has said that one of his missions is to serve as a emissary between the streets and the church. In 2018, after the rapper Tekashi 69 pleaded guilty to making sexually explicit videos of a 13-year-old girl, Mr. Victim's Advocate Whitehead spoke in court on behalf of the guilty pedo. Quote from Tekashi 69, the bishop had to come through. 69 said in a video he posted on Instagram in gratitude of the bishop standing up for him in federal court, even though he pled
So you're
guilty.
telling me, in other words, he don't give a damn about victims.
Not a damn.
Not a damn. But all of a sudden, when it comes to Larry Reed, he feels sympathy for the
He doesn't.
accusers, and it's just, I can't.
Yeah, this man is a clout chaser, money hungry, diabolical, menacing, anti-law individual. He has no respect of courts, which is why he doesn't appreciate the fact that all of these claims were completely vetted in 2021 and done away with. Okay, had he been somebody who respects the courts, which we see that he doesn't, of course he doesn't give a damn about the conclusion of that litigation. But it goes further. Not only is Mr. Advocate for Victims supporting proven guilty pedos. Not only is he in defense of proven guilty pedos, he's friends with guilty proven pedos.
That's right.
But guess what?
Oh my goodness. You are friends with a man that
is guilty of making sexually explicit videos with a underage 13-year-old girl and admitted and confessed in the court of law to doing so.
Nobody.
And you right there by his side. He's a good man. He's a good man.
With integrity.
Harpo is a good man.
He said he was a man of integrity. You're a con artist.
He's a man that do anything for publicity or cash.
Yeah, anything.
Yeah.
Anything for publicity and anything for cash.
He got as much.
And I'm more than disgusted. This is overwhelming. You kicking people out of their church. You're conning people, telling them you're their sibling. What? I can't. I'm done.
He's allegedly frauding elderly women who trust him.
Elderly women. This is too much. But you know what, Conscious? After all that you said, he'll still have his supporters. This is going to have to play itself out in court.
Oh, well, let's talk about some things that have played out, because not only has Mr. Advocate for Victims stood in total defense of a guilty pedo who made sexually explicit videos with a 13-year-old underage girl, but guess what, Sharrell? While he's so busy sweeping in front of Larry's door, worrying and perpetuating allegations, Mr. Whitehead has allegations against him himself. Listen to his own words. I'm going to play this soundbite if you don't mind.
Should I take the thing down?
No, it can stay up because we're going to use that. Do you want to cite your fair use or anything before we play a few seconds of this?
No.
Okay, wonderful.
Because I have it in my yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, so listen to Bishop Lamar's the allegations against him. This is his words.
I can't.
Oh, you can't hear that? Okay, fine. Hold on. Let me do something real quick. You guys, thumbs up this video. We're working, honey. Okay, hold on. Let me see something. I think I got the actual video here. Oh, here it is. Okay, listen to this, child.
And, you know, my ex-wife has said I fondled my son, which was dismissed. She said I fondled and I molested my son and didn't even know that the 2 prior CPS cases that she filed against me, the actual CPS workers was at my house and they knew it was impossible. She did that twice. She did that with my son and my daughter. She said that I brought my daughter into the shower and rubbed my genitals on my daughter's head.
Oh my God.
She filed a CPS case, which was a lie. It was dismissed. And then 3 weeks later, she said, I put my fingers in my daughter's vagina and made her bleed.
Oh my.
Now, let's believe the victims. Let's believe the victims, Sharrell and Perry. Let's believe the victims.
Right. No, I feel you.
Let's believe the victims. Why don't you? Let's believe the minor child who had her father's penis allegedly placed on her head in the shower, and let's believe the same daughter who also allegedly got fondled to the point that she was bleeding from her genitalia. Let's believe the male child, okay, who allegedly was sexually and physically abused to the point that CPS had to get involved. Let's believe the victims. So I find it funny that he can have all these allegations against him, but he will argue there's no basis for this. In the same breath, there's no damn basis either for the allegations made against Larry. But do you see Unhinged with Foloco K doing a PPP series on her criminal friend who has a laundry list of criminality and mugshots?
If you want to talk about shady bishops, if you want to talk about real shady bishops, you're friends with one. Let's end this here, Conscious, because this is where I want my video to end. Because there's no way possible that was his own voice, his own words, that you are a man of integrity. It's no damn way. And anybody who believes anything you say is willingly choosing to be a damn fool.
No, I agree.
Let's stop here, because Conscious can go on and on.
Oh, I sure can.
And we're gonna just expose their backgrounds, and we're gonna go over each of the people involved in this case, in this lynching. All right. I'm not going to take any calls. You guys know I'm tired. Conscious, you want to do part 2 on do you want to finish up on your channel or anything?
I'm gonna let this simmer.
Yeah, we gotta let this simmer.
Yeah, I'm gonna let this simmer. We'll come back because we didn't even get into Miss Brian Miltdudhead L. Disbarred Ponder, the attorney.
Yeah, we gotta do that. We got
we'll do that part 2. Yeah, we're gonna get into that part 2.
Okay, you guys, everybody in the chat, please don't forget to like this video. This is filled with a lot of information. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Woo. Here I go, Conscious. On 3, guys.
Let's do it.
Let's say bye, guys. 1, 2, 3. Bye, everybody.
Bye.